Hi, this is a quick video to help you understand how can we drive a manual transmission vehicle. This is a sedan and it's it's not a left-hand drive like in the US. It's a right-hand drive like in some other country. In this example, it is India. In this example, we'll see how to start and drive a manual transmission vehicle. So here the gear stick is manual, it's not automatic. In an automatic one, like you have the drive, you have the park, and then you have the reverse, and then you have the drive and low and slow, all those options like PRNDL kind of thing. But here this is manual, and this is a vehicle in India, and this is how we start. So in vehicles where you have manual transmission, there is usually a third pedal, that is the clutch. So the right pedal, like in everywhere and like in all cases, is the gas pedal, and gas pedal is also known as the accelerator, and the middle pedal is the brakes. That's a brake, and the leftmost pedal is the clutch. That's the clutch pedal. So before changing the gear stick, every time you want to change the gear, the first thing you need to do is press the clutch pedal, like completely to the end, that way. So before shifting the gears, before changing the gears, either from neutral to a higher number or from higher number to a lower number, the first thing we need to do is press down the clutch pedal completely to the bottom of the floor, like completely, like as much as you can. I mean, completely, basically just floor it. And only then it is advisable to change the gear stick, the gear from higher to lower or lower to higher. All right, so okay, so let's start with the first step of starting the car. Currently this car is not moving, it is at rest. Let's see how do we start the car. And whenever a car is parked, it will be in some gear. No one would park a car in the neutral gear or a neutral position. In the US and other countries, we may have an option called park, like P. Here we don't have a P or a park. All we have is a reverse and the first gear and the second gear, third gear and the fourth gear, and the fifth gear. We don't have a park. So usually whenever we park a manually driven vehicle, it would either be in a lower gear, like first or second, or it will be one of the higher gears. So whenever we are like stopping the car, it doesn't matter. All right, so to start the car, the first thing we need to do is get the gear stick in the neutral position, get the gearbox in the neutral position, get the engine in the neutral mode. And like I said earlier, anytime before shifting the gear stick, first thing you need to do is press the clutch pedal. So press the clutch pedal to the floor, and then let's bring this to neutral. So this is the neutral position. One second, let me just confirm that. This is neutral. Okay, so how do you confirm that it is neutral? Is that this straight line is the neutral gear, or it's zero gear. That means the car is not in gear at all. And might as well, I might add, before bringing it to the neutral position, it's a good idea to press the brake pedal also, because in case the car is on a slope, the moment you press the clutch the moment you press the clutch pedal and bring it in the neutral mode, if you're not hitting the brakes, the car will start moving either forward or backward, depending upon where it is, depending upon the slope of the road. So let me begin again. Let me put in some gear here. So I'm starting the car. Before starting the car, the first thing I do is, it's not in neutral, I want to bring it in neutral. So I press the clutch pedal completely, and then I also press the brake pedal. Okay, and then I bring this into the neutral position. This is the neutral position. How do I confirm? When the gear stick is can be moved freely from left to right, it's the neutral position. In other gear positions, then the movement from left to right is not much. There is a little movement, that's because of wear and tear, but it's not as much as in the neutral position. All right, so this is neutral. All right, so before I actually start the car, let me just quickly tell you the the gears that we have in a manual transmission in the car in India. Like I said earlier, this is R is reverse, and these are the other gears. So if you want to put the engine in the first gear, you would just move to the you would just push the okay, just let me confirm a couple things here. Okay, so you would move, yeah, you would move the gear stick to the left and forward. That's the first gear. Okay, this is the first gear. You move it to the, like it says here, that's a diagram. You are actually over here. This is the neutral position. Okay, and I think they have a little bit of marking over there which shows that that's the neutral position. Like you see, it's like a bigger opening here. I mean, it's a marking kind of thing. Okay, so to get in the first gear, the clutch is pressed and the brake pedal is pressed, and later on we'll do that after starting the car also. But to get in the first gear is you move it to the left and then push it forward. That's the first gear. Okay, to bring it back to neutral, you can just push it back. It just comes in the neutral position. So this is neutral, completely left and forward as per the diagram, here. So that's first gear. Similarly, when you want to go to the second gear, so this first gear, when you go to the second gear, you can come down in the same line, straight line down. That's the second gear. Okay, this is neutral, this is first, and in the same line you can come down. It's the second gear. If you want to come in the second gear from neutral, that will be just left and down. That is the second gear. All right, and then this is neutral again. So this is first, in the same line is second, and neutral and normal and push, that's the third gear. So if you don't push left or right and you just push it forward, that's the third gear, like it says in the diagram. Okay, so this is first, and this is second, and this is neutral again. And if I just push forward, that's third. And then if I just bring it here to the right and down, is the fourth gear. So I didn't have to move too much to the right and down. It's basically just in the neutral position, and down is the fourth gear. Yeah, let me make that clarification. Okay, so neutral position just forward is third gear, and neutral position just backward is the fourth gear. All right, and then if you're already at high speed and you're already on the top gear, like fourth gear, you still want the engine to be gain the momentum and go higher speed, you can move to the right and forward. That's the fifth gear. That's like, they call it double top. Fourth gear is called the top gear, and fifth gear here is called as double top. All right, so hope that is clear. Let me know if you have any questions or questions in the comments here. So left, okay, I have not shown about the reverse gear. That's a tricky one. I'll come to that one in a second. So left forward is the first gear, and left down is the second gear. And remember, I've pressed the clutch as well as the brake, so the car is not going to move anywhere because I'm controlling the car's movement, though it is not started with the brake pedal especially. And I can move the gear stick freely because I've pressed the clutch pedal completely down to the floor. All right, so this is the first gear, this is the second gear, and when I just don't do anything, I just move it forward, that's the third gear. And if I just bring it down from neutral, that's the fourth gear. And when I come from neutral and move to the right and forward, that's the fifth gear, like double top. Okay, so these are the gears to move forward. What if you want to go backwards? That's when the reverse gear, or R, comes into play. And this is the latest thing I've heard here. It was not the same 10 years ago. But right now, in order to go into the reverse mode, you have to press the gear stick down and then go back, then go left and forward. That's the reverse gear. It's like push down, left and forward. That's the reverse gear. Okay, and this car makes a beep also when you put it into the reverse gear. This is Volkswagen Vento. And let me show the demo. Let me demo this again with the car engine started. Let's start the car. This is the key I have here. I press this button, so that's how it opens the key, like it's this kind of fancy thing. All right, so I'm on the right hand side of the car, and this is a right hand drive. It's a manual right hand drive vehicle, and that's how you, I mean, it's a two-way. I think you just insert the key anyhow, it will start the car. I mean, it's a two-way key. Okay, so to start the car again, the first thing I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm in neutral position. My gear stick, my gearbox, my transmission is in neutral mode. All right. It's not a good idea to start the car in any of the gears, because you are intending to, you're putting the load on the engine to move the car right away, which is not a good idea. Okay, this is neutral, 100% neutral. I can confirm that because the gear stick is moving left to right, and I have the clutch pedal completely pressed, and the brake also is pressed, and I'm going to start the car right now. So I start the car. I have not touched the gas pedal or the accelerator yet, right, as of now. So because I'm not going to move the gear stick right away, I am just one second. Let me lower down the AC speed. Okay, I've turned down the fan speed. Okay, so I have just started the car, and I have not pressed the gas pedal at all. This is the default timing of the engine, which keeps the engine running. Okay, so now the vehicle is still in the neutral mode. I can lift my foot from the clutch pedal if I don't want to change the gear right away. If I would just want to wait here, if I'm waiting for someone or something, so I can just stay in this mode. The engine is running and the car is in neutral mode. I've pressed the brake pedal, and I don't need to press the clutch. Okay, now suppose you are ready to move. What do we do? The first thing is, so we need to get into the first gear. So before touching the gear stick, we need to press the clutch pedal completely. And remember, I'm still keeping my brake pedal pressed because I don't want the car to move right now at all. And assume I'm on a slope. It could be a slope like a down, forward slope or a backward slope. There could be some grading. So that the keeping down the brake pedal really helps in all conditions. All right, so now I have got the clutch pedal completely down, and I want to move forward. I'm going to get into the first gear, and remember, the first gear is moving from this point to this point and forward. So left and forward, that's the first gear. So the car engine is in the first gear, and both the pedals are pressed, the clutch and the brake, and nothing's going to happen. We are still stationary. So the moment I want to move, so in order to move forward, I need to first let the brake go off. So if I let the brake go off, if I'm not on a slope, the car will not move anywhere at all. Okay, it'll be like still in the same position. Okay, but now I want to move it forward, so I'm going to move my right foot and place it on the gas pedal or the accelerator, and the graduality with which I'm going to lift my foot off the clutch pedal is the same graduality with which I would press the gas pedal or the accelerator. So I'm going to lift my left foot slowly for the engine and gear to work, to push the car forward, and I'm going to press the accelerator or the gas pedal and this in the same with the same momentum or at the same pace, but downwards. So my left foot is going to go up, but my right foot is going to go down, and this is required so that there is enough fuel supply to the engine. If I just lift the clutch without pressing the gas pedal, the car would give some jerks and it will just come to a halt because it did not get enough fuel for the propulsion. Okay, so I'm in the first gear and I'm going to try to move forward. I'm going to lift my left foot gradually, and and at the same time I'm going to press the gas pedal so that it gets the fuel to go forward, and that's how the car will move. So that's how the car moves forward. Okay, so I've still not completely lifted my left foot. I have just gently let go of the pressure from the clutch, and I am pressing the gas pedal with the same kind of pressure as the pressure has released. Okay, so now there is a little bit of pressure on the engine. The car cannot move fast enough in the first gear. So the moment you start moving on the first gear for a few seconds, like 10, 20, 30 seconds, you'll feel the engine is kind of asking for more. Like engine is kind of, you feel like engine is overloaded. At that point in time, you press the clutch pedal again, and you press the gear stick in the second gear. Okay, and then try to release the release the clutch pedal gently, and keep pressing the gas pedal or the accelerator gently. Okay, so that's how you move. All right, and then similarly when you speed up further up, you can now I'm coming to a halt because as the road is ending. So I press the clutch pedal completely, and then I press the brake pedal. So I'm completely at a halt, at rest, and now I'm going to turn on an indicator, and I'm going to make a left turn. But now since I've come to a complete halt, I would not like the car to move with the gear stick in the second mode, because making a move or the entire engine and car move in the second mode is too much of a load on the engine. So I would prefer to come in the first gear, and then I would like to move forward. Okay, so that's in the first gear, and I was just waiting for another vehicle to go. I'm just gonna make a U-turn over here. So I'm in the first gear, and I am making a U-turn. So in order to make a U-turn, I move forward, and now I want to put the car in the reverse gear. So like I said earlier, I need to press this down and move it to the left, and that was a beep I was talking about. In the reverse gear, in this car at least, there is a beep sound when the car is placed in the reverse, when the engine is placed in the reverse gear. Okay, so same thing applies when I'm going backwards. I just release the clutch gently, and I make sure that I have enough fuel for the engine. So I press the gas pedal as needed. All right, and now I'm going to move in the forward gear again. You see, I was in the reverse gear. Now I just come here, and it's up, and then I just move in the first gear at a higher level. This is at the higher level. All right, and now I just release the clutch gently, and then I press the gas pedal or the accelerator gently, and I move forward. And the car is moving forward. All right. Okay, so I'm in the first gear. The car is moving in at good pace, and then I just press the clutch pedal again, and then I come in the second gear, and then I let the car. I continue driving in the second gear. All right. And similarly, as the speed increases, I would press the clutch pedal and shift into higher gears. A quick word on how the gear system works in a car is lower the gear, higher the torque, and lower the speed. And when the car gains momentum, you can shift into higher gears. That will give you lower torque but higher speed. So in general, start the car in neutral position or neutral gear and shift it into the first gear, and that's when the engine has maximum torque or max torque. That means we are using the engine's maximum capacity to move the car from at rest position into getting it into a motion. All right. And then similarly, as and when the car gains momentum, you feel the engine is slightly overloaded, you shift into the higher gear. Move forward, you feel the engine is about to sound or like overloaded, you move into the higher gear. All right. I'm sure you'll get the idea as and when you practice as time goes by. All right. So obviously, when I'm moving forward, I don't need to press the brake at all. Only when I'm coming to a halt, I need to press the clutch completely and press the brakes completely. And that's how I come to a halt. All right. I think I need to come to a halt now. I'm going to press the brake completely. And I'm pressing the I press the clutch pedal completely, and I also I'm pressing the brake. I'll be pressing the brake pedal also. Okay, so now I press the brake pedal completely, though I was in the second gear, doesn't matter. I press the clutch completely and I press the brakes, and I'm at a halt. The car is at rest right now. Okay, and then I simply turn off the engine. I've pressed both the pedals. I just simply turn off the engine and I remove the key, and then I let my clutch and the brake pedals go. Okay, again, because I'm in some gear here, in this case second gear, the car is not going to move forward or backward, even if there is a slope. So before stepping out of a manual car, make sure that the gear stick is in some gear, first gear, second gear, third gear, doesn't matter. All right, and then only you should step out. That will ensure that the car is actually parked properly. It's in a park mode. All right, I think that should be good for as a first lesson on driving a manual transmission car. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to respond. Thank you so much.